Sister Desiree and Marie Finley. I am a Felician sister, and I spoke with you last year in person, and this year, because we're in a pandemic, I get to speak to you through the screen, but it's still good to be back with you. And I get to talk about Advent, which is one of my favorite, oh no, it's not really a holiday, but seasons. And it's my favorite because it's kind of like, think about it as preparation. You think about a vacation and you have to prepare. You can't just like leave. You know, you have to pack your bags, buy your tickets if it's somewhere else, or get gas in the car if you're going to drive. And I feel like Advent is that preparation and that reminding me of something is happening now. Like there's something important to be done now. So that I have something to look forward to in Christmas and in celebrating the birth of Jesus, but I also have something to be attentive to in my daily life. So some images that I like to associate with Advent would be like the seed in the ground, you know, that there is something taking place and maybe we can't see it and it's dark in the ground, but it's important. And without that preparation, without that time in the quiet and in the dark and the waiting, then there's not going to be any life from that seed, and it won't be ready for the light. It won't be ready for the sun if it doesn't spend time in that quiet and that dark. And another image I like is the butterfly. So of course, you know, there's that darkness in the cocoon where the caterpillar is changing and it's like everything's falling apart, but something is happening. And while we can't see it, we can't rush it either. Like, I know that if you were to try and just open a cocoon and make the butterfly happen, it would not survive. So that's the other thing, is that Advent is about not rushing and letting each moment be whatever it is, letting whatever needs to unfold in each moment unfold in its own time. And that reminds me of a saying from New Mexico, which is where I grew up. Apparently the motto for the state of New Mexico is, "It goes as it grows," which is slow. And very much the pace of life in New Mexico was like that. It was like, I'll do it tomorrow, you know, or I'll do it when I need to. And then I moved to Pittsburgh and it was like, get it done right now. And I was like, it's not due for 2 weeks. So it's a very different pace of life. So I like that return to just letting things unfold. And then of course another image for me is the baby in the womb. And again, that quiet and that dark, you know, and now because of technology, we can see what's happening in there. But really it's still very special. The second Sunday of Advent, and thinking of John the Baptist, and he says, you know, there's someone greater coming after me, that I baptize with water, but he's going to baptize with the Spirit. And that's what I feel like John is like Advent, and then Jesus is Christmas. So Advent is the water, is the baptism in water, baptism of the everyday, of now, of the preparing. And Christmas then is like the full-on grandeur of God. And, you know, just like a seed cannot be able to endure that light without being in the darkness, that's what we need, is this time of being in the now and being in our daily lives and preparing and readying ourselves in the dark, so that when God does show up in God's fullness, that we're as whole as we can be, and therefore can really embrace that light. For each Sunday, so we'll have 2 Sundays with purple, then we'll have a Sunday with pink, and then the last Sunday with purple. And I didn't always know what that was about. I was like, why do we have one random pink ribbon? You know, like, what's that candle doing there? I like order, I don't like this. And so eventually, obviously, I learned that the purple is that depth, you know, is that darkness, is that entering into the richness of what's happening underground and within. But the pink comes in the third Sunday of Advent, so that it's kind of like it's bright and it says there's hope, that there's light on the way. You know, we won't be staying in the dark, that this isn't where we remain, but this is just where we need to be for now. But it's not forever. It's temporary. So that's what the colors are about. And I like purple, so I'm like, oh, that works. But I think, you know, again, being mindful of that, slowing down. Some things that I've done, I like to journal already, but I did find an Advent journal so that every day there's something specific to reflect on. But even not having a journal, just to be able to, like, I'll go on to the USCCB website, the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, and they have the readings for every day. So even if you don't attend Mass every day, or even watch it online every day, there's a chance to at least see what the readings are, because typically we go to Mass on Sundays, but for those who go every day of the week, you'll see that the readings flow from one to the next. And so if you're able to do that, just read maybe even just the gospel passage, or if you want to read all of them from the day. That will help remind you of now, of like what is happening now, and will connect you then to the next day, and you'll be able to see where you were yesterday, where you are today, and then where you're going tomorrow. So I like, and you know, and Scripture is good anyway for us to reflect upon. And I also know myself, and I know what helps me slow down, even just like physically. So I need to go sit somewhere else in the house so that I'm not, you know, where I usually work, because then I'm thinking of all the things I got to get done. You know, so you got classes still, or you have homework to do, or finals to turn in. And so wherever you usually work, don't do your slowing down there. Go somewhere else. If you're a coffee drinker, make yourself some coffee. If you're a tea drinker, get yourself some tea, and just like stop. Even if it's for 3 minutes, that makes a whole difference. So don't feel like, you know what, I don't have 30 minutes, so I'm giving nothing. But if you only have 2 minutes, you just give yourself 2 minutes. Give you and God 2 minutes, and God will work wonders with that too. Well, those are my only two suggestions, but you know yourself. So if you're a creative person, maybe you can slow down with some art. If you are an active person, maybe you can slow down by going for a walk. That, you know, being active is slowing down too sometimes. So, but be assured of my prayers for you as you journey with the Lord in the waiting, until we get to see the light.